Cougar sports fans. I'm your host, Alexi Luibil.
I'm Matti Tenney.
And welcome to another episode of Cougs on the Clock. Today we got Wazzu basketball getting started, college football rolling on, getting close to the playoffs, NFL. So starting off with Wazzu basketball, men started out 2-0.
Yeah, no, they're on a roll. Obviously, last year started 2-1, getting a win against Prairie View A&M. We lost to them last year. Yeah. That was also another game. It's in the SWAC Pac-12 relationship. So we played them last year, played them again this year, got our revenge. That was a very fun game. Not a lot of fans there, but there was a lot of heckling going on during that game. But you're right, men 2-0, they're cooking. Isaac Jones showing out in the post, filling in that spot that Big Mo's leaving, as well as the guards stepping up. Joseph Yusufu, fantastic defender.
For sure. And this week, we got Mississippi State coming into Beasley on Saturday.
Yeah, a full week without WSU men's basketball. It's kind of crazy that those two games were really quick, and now we got to wait.
Yeah. Elsewhere in men's basketball, no shortage of upsets. Michigan State and Duke both falling. Duke to ranked 12, now 3, Arizona, and Michigan State to unranked, now 24, James Madison.
Roll Dukes, that's what I'm talking about. Great to see. I mean, JMU is just having a great year in sports in general.
Yeah.
I mean, their football team is undefeated. Their soccer team, I don't keep up with NCAA men's soccer, but I know they had a big win. Shout out Adam Webb, my buddy over at JMU. Great to see the Dukes doing good, as they just, I think last year, were promoted up to D1. So it's really cool to see them doing really good in those athletic competitions with a new division. Yeah,
JMU, they were immediately making noise in football. Not sure if they did much in basketball last year, but now full force in both sports. It's really fun to see.
It really is. Moving on to women's basketball, we can talk about it. Your number 24 Cougs are 3-0, so both teams really strong start to the season. We've seen some breakout performances from the freshmen, Ella Villa and her sister Jenna, those twins. I think they're twins. But they've been playing really great. Bella Mercatete in the post, absolutely dominant. Tara Wallach is also in the post. She has range. She can shoot from deep and she can play post, which is fantastic. And then obviously the Naismith Player of the Year watch list, Charlize Ledger-Walker, who, I mean, not much more you can ask for in a guard. She can go into the paint. She can shoot from deep. She can pass the ball. I mean, we all know that Charlize is legit, but she's using the senior campaign to prove it.
Yeah, coming off a Pac-12 win last year, looking really exciting.
Oh, yeah.
And tonight we're at Montana, and then we're at Prairie View A&M.
Yep.
And then we're back home on Thanksgiving for anybody who's still in Pullman.
Yeah.
Big game against number 20 Maryland.
Yeah. Looking forward to keeping that win streak going. Hopefully I didn't just announce or curse them. But you want to talk about what else is going on in women's basketball? Because there's some big things going on in both men's and women's.
Yeah. Number 1 LSU falling to number 20, now 5 Colorado. And they fell to 7. Number 2 UConn fell to now 14 ranked, previously unranked NC State. They fell to 8.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark of Iowa breaking the franchise record for points.
Caitlin Clark is legit. I mean, she's an absolute baller.
She's incredible.
Sold out Iowa's football stadium for an exhibition game.
She's incredible to watch. I haven't paid a ton of attention to women's basketball, but every time I look, I see her name everywhere.
Yeah, she's the next big thing. I think she is right now what Sabrina Ionescu was 4 or 5 years ago over at Oregon. Just absolutely dominant. And then we should mention women's volleyball. Yep. They won the home closer. Was that senior night?
That was not the home closer, but it was senior night.
It was senior night.
So beating USC.
Yes.
Did exactly what they did to us, actually. Reverse sweep.
Yeah.
We lost the first 2 sets, came back, won the final 3. But with a loss to UCLA, we fell to 11, out of the top 10 for the first time in a while.
Months.
Yeah.
I mean.
It was a very long run of being in the top 10. But we're 11 now. But despite losing 5 of our last 8, everything's still in play. We got 4 games left, including a game against UW, which will be fun.
Yeah.
And then we got the Pac-12 tournament, and obviously we got the NCAA tournament to look forward to. So we're still very much in play for everything.
I'm very excited to see what this volleyball team does because, they have a lot of seniors and a lot of transfers, people who have made this team have made this team as special as it is this year. So want to make the most of them while we still have them. Yeah,
this will be a fun one coming down the stretch.
Yeah. Well, you want to move on to college football?
Yeah.
Let's do it. WSU did not play this weekend. Nothing happened, and everything is fine.
We're 4-6 after starting 4-0. So we have to win out to make a bowl game.
Yep.
We play Colorado, which is winnable. Then we play UW, which I would love to say is winnable.
Colorado, I mean, the way that we've been playing, I don't think any of these games are winnable. And that's coming from me. I love the Cougs. It's just, it's so disheartening. And
I've got hope, hopefully not misplaced, for Colorado, because Colorado's doing the same thing we are. They started out 3-0, and they have lost 6 of their last 7. Yeah. We started out 4-0 and lost 6 straight. We're on the same trajectory. I'll be going to that game. It's going to be fun to see Deion Sanders come to Pullman.
It will be, 100%. I got to talk to Brennan Jackson briefly, and he mentioned that when he sacks Shedeur Sanders, he's going to give him a little. Oh, I have the Brennan Jackson wristband on too, but he's going to give him a little flex there.
Got the Apple Watch.
Got the Apple Watch on. All right. But I'd love the Cougs to win this Colorado game, and I think we can. It's just a matter of will this team show up. And that's been honestly the biggest thing is that this team is not showing up for each other or for themselves. And another thing that we need to think about is with rumors of Jake Dickert getting the potentially going to Michigan State to fill that job offer, do we want Dickert back for another year? I mean, I know he is fantastic for Cougar culture. He's a fantastic person on the Palouse. But from a coaching perspective, was he ready to be promoted to head coach? Is he doing what he needs to do? And what do the Cougs need to do to change this momentum?
I think Dickert's done a lot of good things, but with how this season went and last season, we had the same story last year where we started out good and then everything seemed to fall apart. I feel like we just need some sort of change. And it's not to say that Dickert was bad. Like, I liked him a lot.
Yeah.
But I feel like we just need a change at this point. And there's going to be a lot of changes coming over the next few years with the Pac-12, with the team, everything. So.
Speaking of the Pac-12, I should briefly mention this just because it broke 5 minutes before we started shooting.
Yeah.
There was a big court case in Washington today, and Washington State and Oregon State universities were both granted the only members of the Pac-12 able to vote on what happens with the money.
Yeah.
And I would be shocked if they didn't distribute it to only us two.
Which is a huge win.
Yes.
Huge win for us.
It's not the suit, but it's the suit that sets everything up.
Yeah.
So very exciting stuff out of the Pac-12 and some hope for Wazzu sports fans.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Speaking of Oregon State, they play UW this week, and then Oregon.
I think this Oregon State team can beat UW.
I do too.
I 100% believe so.
UW has not given me anything to make them think that they're the top team. They've had close games against a lot of teams that they probably shouldn't have had close games against.
Arizona State, USC, Arizona.
Even Stanford was a good
Stanford, UCLA? No. I don't remember.
They played UCLA.
I don't think they did. Either way, plus the Beavs have been looking incredible. I think one of their only conference losses is to us, which Coug fans, we beat the number 10 team in the country.
Yeah, we won the Pac-2 championship.
We did.
That's our one thing to cling on to.
You can never take that away from us, but definitely a go Beavs in this situation.
Yeah.
I think all of Pullman will be rooting for the Beavers in that one. And then, do you want to talk about playoff stuff?
Yeah. A lot of things coming down to the wire. Alabama's already clinched against Georgia for the SEC title. Whoever wins that is definitely in.
Yeah.
Michigan State and Ohio State play in the next couple weeks. Whoever wins that is going to be the Big Ten champion. they're not losing to Iowa or whoever they play from the Big Ten West. So whoever wins that, they're going to be 13-0. They're going to be in. Florida State is probably going to win the ACC and be in. And then it all comes down to Pac-12 or Big 12.
Where's Ohio State on your list? I see you gave me a playoff prediction of Michigan 1, Georgia 2, Florida State 3, Texas 4. First of all, Texas, you really think that they're going to make the playoff?
I think they win the Big 12, and I think if everything goes, I think Oregon State is going to make some noise over these next couple weeks. I think if it comes down to Oregon and UW in the Pac-12 championship, I think Oregon wins that.
I agree.
And Texas with wins against, if they beat Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship, that's the only team they lost to. I think Texas gets that slot at 4. I don't think Ohio State makes it if they don't play in the Big Ten championship. Okay. If Ohio State beats Michigan, then they'll be in and Michigan will be out.
I agree with
My prediction for that is Michigan beat.
I agree with Michigan and Georgia. I don't agree with Texas. I think there will be a Pac-12 school, whether it be Oregon, whether it be Washington. I want it to be Oregon. Personal bias. I also think Oregon is the best team in the Pac-12. I think Bo Nix is a legitimate Heisman candidate. I think that he should win the Heisman. And so I would definitely put them in that top 4.
I don't want either team in the Pac-12 to make it. The only team in the Pac-12 that I would want to make it other than us is Oregon State, and they have 2 losses. It's not going to happen. Yeah. So I'm rooting for Oregon State to just play spoiler in that. And if that happens, I don't think there's a chance for either of them. But we'll see.
True.
Oregon and Texas, that's the big debate, I think. If it all goes the way I think it's going to go, with Oregon State winning the Pac-12 at 12-1, Texas winning the Big 12 at 12-1, the debate's just going to be between those 2 teams.
I think Oregon's the better team.
I don't know.
Well, it's all up to the college football playoff rankers.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
Cool.
It'll be fun coming down the stretch.
Yeah.
But let's move up a level in football.
Let's do
NFL.
Yeah, let's draft up.
A lot of things happened this week.
Niners are back, baby.
Finally.
Niners are back.
3 straight losses. They come out of the bye week with a huge win in Jacksonville.
Absolutely destroyed the Jaguars. We all knew that was going to happen. New edge rusher Chase Young and Nick Bosa meeting up for a sack in that game, each getting half the credit for that one. Niners defense came through. They're playing like the defense that they have proven that they can be and should be. The last 3 weeks have been completely uncharacteristic. Like Brock Purdy looked comfortable in his pocket. He was able to make some great throws, including one that was probably a little bit questionable, but was a touchdown, so I'm not complaining about it. But that little floater pass to Ayuk in the back of the end zone almost got picked off, and I was very nervous. But every aspect of this team is working coming out of the bye week, which is so good to see, especially after the Cougs were not able to come out of the bye week and perform. Yeah. A big notable thing that happened was Steve Wilks, the defensive coordinator, moved from the box down to the sideline. That's semantics, whether you want to argue if that actually does something or not. I think it boosts player attitude, makes them want to play when they have this direct feedback right on the side of the field. Yeah. Only downside is Christian McCaffrey's touchdown streak broke after, I think, 17 games.
Yeah, I believe it was 17.
So RIP the parlay leg Christian McCaffrey touchdown anytime.
Yep.
Moving on.
Yeah. Longest win streak in the NFL right now belongs to the Minnesota Vikings.
Josh Dobbs.
The Pastronaut.
Yeah.
They're the team I'm rooting for, since the Giants are clearly not doing anything this year.
Hey, believe in Tommy DeVito.
I don't at all. He seems like a good guy, and like over the next few years, who knows? Maybe some things can happen there, but this season is dead.
Yeah. Daniel
Jones is out for the year. He was the only reason we even had a shot at like any wins for the rest of the year. I don't know. We might just go 2-15. It really depends. We got a couple games that are winnable, but yeah, we lost 49-17 to the Cowboys. Losing 2 games to the Cowboys by a combined 72 points is not fun.
Couldn't be us.
For a division opponent. But yeah, the Vikings.
Vikings.
Like I was saying, that's the thing that I'm happy about in the NFL.
I mean, Josh Dobbs is just this year's Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
You know, this is the success story that everyone's going to root for, and I love to see it. And The Vikings have the tiebreaker over us, technically, because they did beat us. But I think
I
that...
don't think it'll come down to that.
No, I think it'll be a cool playoff run. But ultimately, I got my Niners. Speaking of... Oh, yeah. Let's keep going.
Yeah, Browns, another team that is
Yeah. I mean...
very surprising right now. I mean...
JD, what happened?
Down 31-17 and then came back with 9 minutes left to beat the Ravens this week.
Yeah.
And we might have the entire AFC North in the playoffs.
I would not be surprised. They're all playing good as someone who was beaten by 2 AFC North teams. Shouldn't have lost to the Bengals. I will go to my grave on that one. But the Browns played really good.
Yeah, the Browns have been looking really good all year with or without Deshaun Watson.
I mean, I think they really stepped it up. It was the Niners game that defense came through.
Yeah.
I mean, since then, it's been lights out.
Yeah, defense has been great. The only AFC North team that isn't currently in a playoff spot is the Bengals, who lost to the team that's replacing them, which is Houston, in the playoffs right now at 5-4.
C.J. Stroud.
C.J. Stroud's been really good.
All right.
That's interesting. I didn't think it wasn't going to happen, but I didn't think it was going to happen in year one, that's for sure.
The thing is, it's been so long since we've seen a quarterback fresh out of the draft perform.
Yeah.
I mean, the last person we could, I mean, obviously, Justin Herbert would probably be the last person we could say that did that, and that was almost 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, even like you got big names like Joe Burrow. He tore his ACL first year, and he
Exactly.
wasn't that good when he was healthy either.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's been a story of busts to the point where that's, as NFL fans, we've gotten used to it. So it's really nice to see someone performing just fresh out of the draft, adapting to the NFL perfectly, especially for a franchise that has not had that success in such a long time.
Yeah, I didn't expect anything from Houston this
No.
year. And now they're 5-4. They just beat Cincinnati, and they might make a playoff run.
Yeah.
Lots of teams in the AFC that could do it. We were saying the opposite earlier this year. I think the AFC is better than the NFC.
We were saying that earlier.
The AFC's got like 10 good teams.
They do.
And the NFC's got like 5.
Yeah.
Like, you got...
I'll eat my words on that one. That was definitely me who said that.
You got the Eagles, 49ers, Lions. They're all good. They're all going to win their divisions, I think.
I agree.
Cowboys are good.
Hawks aren't bad.
Hawks aren't bad. They're 6-2, but they have a -1 point differential. I do not trust the Seahawks going down the stretch.
I don't like the Seahawks at all.
And well, yeah.
The Seahawks are my Cowboys.
Yeah,
So.
that's fair. And then you got the Vikings, who I think are really good now. But we could. I was joking about this with my friend, but there's a realistic chance that 2 NFC South teams could make the playoffs, and neither of them have a winning record.
I mean, they're the new NFC East.
Yeah. Right now, the Saints are winning it at 5-5, and the Bucks are next up at 4-5. The Bucks would be the 8th seed if the playoffs started today.
Yeah.
If the Seahawks fall off, the Bucks could sneak into the playoffs as a wild card despite having a losing record.
Speaking of the Saints, do we want to talk about Michael Thomas?
Do you want to talk about Michael
A
Thomas?
little bit of a weird situation. NFL news. Michael Thomas was arrested for battery, I believe, or assault. He threw a brick at a construction worker's car.
Yeah.
So that happened this week.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Some are calling it the Derek Carr effect.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never thrown a brick at a car, so I don't know what to say about that.
Do we want to move on?
Yeah,
I'm ready.
I don't know what that'll affect, but we'll see.
I kind of want to. I don't really want to do NBA. Honestly, we're going pretty long, right? Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so we'll go to NHL.
We'll move on to NHL this week. Lots of things happening. We're about 15 games in the season there. One team that has been looking completely terrible despite having 2 of the top 5 players in the NHL, the Edmonton Oilers, just fired their coach and hired Chris Knobloch, and they won their first game with him. They're now on a 2-game win streak. They might be turning it around. I'm not sold on that yet. but we'll see in the upcoming week. They play the Kraken for all the Seattle hockey fans out there. They play the Kraken again this week. So we'll see if Edmonton can come back, maybe start making a push for the playoffs. They were completely terrible in the first couple weeks of the season, including being one of the San Jose Sharks' 2 wins. For the Bay Area sports fans here.
The Sharks won a game. The Sharks won a game.
Two wins.
I know nothing about hockey, for the record. I'm just sitting here looking pretty.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been me if we were talking about NBA. So,
okay, so who is legit then?
So, top 5 teams in the NHL right now. You got Boston. They are looking really good. They are, I believe, 11-1-2. 11 wins, 1 loss, 2 overtime losses. That's insane. That's not sustainable, but I do think they're a good team. A lot of people were expecting them to fall off this year with some of their core players retiring, but their core players were not the only things making them good.
Right.
So Boston, they're gonna stay good. I don't know if they're gonna stay great, but they're definitely gonna stay good.
Sidney Crosby's still playing, right?
Yes.
That's wild.
He's got, as of right before we filmed this, he just scored his 8th goal of the year.
Nice.
He's looking really good again. Definitely better than Ovechkin as a Penguins fan. We'll
I apologize to Ovechkin. No.
Yeah, he's not watching. But the Rangers, they're going to stay good. I don't know if like Boston, I don't know if they'll stay great. You got a lot of other good teams in their division. You got Carolina, they're still looking good, and they're going to continue looking good. The Devils, they're going to be good. I think both Boston and the Rangers, they make the playoffs. They're not even going to be wild card teams. But I don't think they're going to be I don't think they're going to run away with anything. Moving on to the Western Conference, Dallas is the one team in the Central that has looked incredible so far, and I can't really see any team dethroning them. But for them, it really just depends on how everything gels.
Right.
I don't know if they are a top team, but in the Central, they're definitely a top team.
Okay.
Vegas, coming off their Stanley Cup win last year, also playing incredible hockey. They're gonna stay incredible. They're probably gonna be the best team in the league again this year. As much as that hurts me to say, because I've not liked Vegas since they joined the league. But another team in the Pacific that's really looking good is Vancouver, and that's something that nobody expected.
No.
Vancouver was not good last year. They made the playoffs a couple years ago, but that was kind of a surprise to everybody.
So they're like the Texans of the NHL?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Kind of. I mean, the Texans made the playoffs a couple years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. Huh? Bedard's doing good.
Oh, that's the rookie dude. Yeah.
Yeah, Bedard's doing good. Chicago is not, but similar situation to Edmonton. You can't just have one super good player and hope to be awesome.
Yeah, Blazers.
But outside of the NHL, Washington State hockey got a couple wins this weekend, and now we head to Seattle for the Apple Puck. So anybody who's heading back to the west side this weekend, got to show out to that one. Those will be some really fun games. We play on the 17th at 7:30 and the 18th at 8:05. Wazzu hockey, this has been a much better year than past years have been. There have been some interesting losses, but we've made up for it with a lot of the wins. Our win against USC, on Sunday, that was a great win where we fought back really well. So I'm optimistic we can get a win against UW. We haven't beaten them in a very long time. So
hopefully we can make it 2 Apple Cup wins in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, we'll see.
3, because we play them in volleyball too.
Yeah, volleyball, we play them,
Perfect.
I want to say, the 24th. So lots of UW coming up. And
all right.
Yeah.
You want to move on to birthdays?
Yeah.
All right.
I couldn't find too many.
I got a couple. So I saw you had some written down if you want to go over those ones.
Devonna Smith, turning 25 as of Tuesday, today as we're filming this. So
Yeah.
happy birthday to him. And then Carl Anthony Towns turning 28 on Wednesday, which is probably the day this comes out. We'll see.
Dawson Knox is turning 27 today, as well as T.Y. Hilton, who Madden 25 weapon.
Yeah, T.Y. Hilton was always really fun to watch. Never a top guy, but always a fixture.
Also, happy 26th birthday to former WSU Cougar quarterback Jarrett Guarantano. That's pretty cool. Not too many birthdays, but we got some good ones.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, not a terrible week for birthdays.
No.
So we'll see.
As we get into the Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah.
So
yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everybody who's whether you're heading back to the west side, staying here, going wherever you live.
Yeah. Make sure to follow us on our Instagram and TikTok at Wazzu Sports Network, as well as our Twitter, Wazzu Sports Net, and keep tuning into these Cable 8 shows on the Cable 8 YouTube channel. We're putting out a lot of really great content. Make sure you stick around. Don't just watch us. Recap's doing a really good job, as well as the TV productions are doing really good.
For sure. Yeah.
So, I'm Matti Tenney.
I'm Alexi Luibil.
Go Cougs.
Gobble gobble.
Here, wait, let me get a photo of you guys for that.
Oh yeah. I guess Anna wants